Welcome to Pride Rock for a new movie recap. Today, the recapped movie is an American thriller horror movie named The Ruins. Watch the video till the end and don't forget to subscribe for more movies recaps every day. The Ruins. The story starts, and we see four people, including two boys and two girls. They were all friends and belonged to America. They go to Mexico to spend their holidays. They meet a traveler who belonged to Germany. His name was Matthias. During the conversation, that guy tells them about his brother Heinrich. His brother was an archaeologist who was more interested in old stuff. He finds out an old and scary temple in Mexico. That temple was never discussed in any book. The most peculiar aspect of the temple was that it was never depicted on any map. Then he says that he has decided to follow his brother, and if you people want to come, you are welcome. As they were here to celebrate holidays, they wanted to see something new, and they decide to accompany him. They decide to move the next morning, so they spend the night at their hotel. That dangerous temple was present in the mid of a jungle. They decide to over half journey on car and another half on foot. The driver they selected to reach that place explains them to not go there. That is very dangerous place and not suitable. The driver needed the money, that's why he drops them there. He drops them at the place from where they had to proceed by foot. Taking help from the map, they reach a place fully covered by bushes. They push the bushes away and decide to go further. One of the friend named Amy says, "I'm feeling glitch, and it seems someone has covered the place so that no one could approach here, and we all should go back." They don't listen to her as they wanted to see that temple. And Matthias was the one who wished much to see the temple, because his brother was also there. After walking further, he finds his brother's car, and they finally reach their destination, that temple. It was really present in the mid of the jungle, covered from the bushes from all the sides. As they were going near, some people approached their horse. They were inhabitants of that village. The villagers were saying something in their own language, but they were unable to understand. Even villagers couldn't understand them. After that, Jeff offers them money, but they refused to take money. Amy was capturing pictures of them, and while doing so she falls upon those bushes, which covered the temple. As they see Amy on those bushes, they become angry and take out weapons. Dimitri thinks that they were angry because Amy took pictures of them. He instantly takes the camera from Amy and passes it over to the villagers. As he proceeds towards them, they throw an arrow that passes through his body. Then they shoot him in the head and kill him. His friends become very much frightened seeing all this. After that, villagers position their weapons upon them and ask them to go upside the temple. They were much frightened and climb up the temple and try to keep the situation under control. They take out their cell phones and discover that there are no signals. They don't have the choice of escaping because as they climb up the temple, the villagers surround them. They assume that villagers are very much dangerous people, as they kill Dimitri for no reason and ask them to climb up the temple. They were in much difficulty as nobody could help them, and neither the temple was present on any of the maps. They see Heinrich's tent and belongings there. Neither he was present there nor his friends. And there was also the path to enter the temple. That was just like a well, and the rope was going inside. They were standing and the phone rang. That was very strange for them as there were no signals. It was impossible for the signals to appear in such depth of temple. They consider it a positive sign for themselves, which could really help them. Matthias thinks of it as his brother's phone. That's why he decides to go inside the temple. He ties himself with the rope and tries to go down. Eric and Jeff control the roller, helping him to go down. They both start the roller and don't even check the rope. The rope was very much weak and shatters after some time, and Matthias crumbles. Even though he falls from such a tall building, his rear bones rupture, and he becomes crippled as a consequence. This was the second time something terrible had occurred to their friends, and they were frightened. They make the decision that one of the ladies from each will fall down the temple, because girls are fully capable of attempting to control bearings. Stacy, who does not want to go down willingly, somehow decides to go down. They tie her up with the rope so that she could go down. As some of the rope was broken up, they had very few ropes, and as the only a little path is left, Stacy jumps from there. As it was not much high, her leg gets very injured. As she reaches down, she sees very much darkened out there. She checks out for Matthias, whose bones were broken. She tells Jack, as he was a medical student. Jack knows a little about that, so he decides that we would make a stature. He looks around and manages to make out stature from the things present nearby. They decide to send Amy down so that both girls could drag Matthias upward, after which both girls try to put Matthias on stature. As they were putting him on stretcher, his back gets broken. They somehow managed to pull him up, but Matthias was very much in a critical situation, as he was bleeding a lot and they had no medicine to treat him. Amy can't see that and decides to go down, so that she could tell the villagers that one of their friends was much injured. As she goes, Jack also follows him. They try to convince the villagers while they go down, but no one understands her. Then Amy gets much angry that she pulls some bushes and throws them at villagers. That plant she threw gets hit to the child standing over there. The villagers start shouting when they see this, and they get far away from child. The child was much frightened and villagers force him to climb up the temple. The child was crying a lot, but he doesn't climb up the temple. After which villagers shoot him down in front of her mother. Amy and Jack get much scared watching this, because they understand nobody would help them. So they climb up the temple again. Jack then understands that there is something wrong with the plants covering the temple. He then reminds us that when Amy climbed those plants, the villagers got much angry. After that they killed Dimitri, and now the same thing happened to the child. He then thinks that everyone has touched those plants. Now, if this is real, then they can't get saved from them. Then from the same night, strange things start to happen with them. When they wake up, Stacy sees that those plants were tied to herself very badly, and the roots were stuck in her wounds. The stems were far inside. Jack pulls them out. After that, Matthias asks Amy to remove the sheet from his foot. I feel something there. And when she does so, she starts shouting after being frightened, because the same plants were tied to his feet, and all of his masks was damaged. His bones were appearing. That was a very terrifying moment. Jack spares his leg from those plants and Matthias becomes very much critical. And then they listen to a mobile phone ring from inside the temple. As they had no other option, to Jack decides to send those girls down, so that they could bring the mobile and also bring help for them, so that they could move out from the hell situation. Those two girls again come down to the temple. Those plant and branches were very much fresh. After watching this, they realize that those are not common plants, because the plants can't grow up in darkness. They see a girl's corpse near those plants. That girl was actually carrying that phone in her hands. They take the mobile from that girl and become much surprised as they see the mobile, because that mobile was completely broken. They think that mobile was broken, then how could they listen to ringing noise? Then they realize that those were the same plants that were vibrating and ringing. That was a very frightening moment. Then those plants proceed towards them to attack. They both run towards the rope. Jack and Eric pull them upward. After coming up, girls tell them that there is no mobile phone inside, but those were the plants ringing. They even tried to kill them, and now they were in very pity condition. After that, Jack decides that he would cut Matthias' feet, because they were worried about the dangerous virus that could spread out. And he tells them that if I don't do so, Matthias would lose his life soon. Nobody agrees with his decision, but Jack tells that we have to do this as it is compulsory. Jack and Eric both do this. First of all, they take a stone and break up the bones. Then they take a knife and cut his bones. Aside from this, they had a pan burning. They take out the pan and close his wounds with it. This was a very painful moment, and Matthias was crying in pain. It was not less than any cruelty to see your body being cut. After being under so much pain, Matthias survives. But no, his condition becomes more dangerous. The villagers were listening to him crying, but they were not at all worried about that. Then those plants take his broken parts along with them. After that, Stacy cries of pain. She feels as if all those dangerous things were inside her. She takes out the knife and tries to show them. All of his friends try to stop her from doing so. When Stacy wakes up in the morning, she could see the roots in her body. It seemed as if there were little snakes inside her body, on her back and legs. Jack pulls out the roots from her back with the help of a knife. Then he pulls out roots from her legs. After that, Matthias dies, and those plants carry his dead body along with them. After that, Stacy says she still feels some roots inside her body, and she asks Jack to drag them out too. But they don't do so because it could lead Stacy to death. She requests them a lot, but they refuse. Then she drinks water, and those roots appear on her forehead. But her friends ignore that. Stacy was not calm. When everybody sleeps, she comes out and starts cutting her own self, because those things were giving her a lot of pain. When her friends wake up, they become scared after seeing her because she had cut her so much. She cut her back, her forehead, and her legs. A lot of blood was flowing out of her body. She was doing so because all the small roots were present inside her body. Her friends try to stop her from doing so and proceed further. In return, she attacks Jack and makes him injured, and suddenly pinches knife in her best friend Eric's body, and he dies. Stacy was not within herself. She requests her friends to kill her, even though they don't want this, but Jack kills her. The truth about the temple was that a devil used to live there long before. That devil was alive in that temple. He was alive in those plants, in flowers, branches, and everywhere. He could do anything, even he could see and listen. All that was done to them was because of that devil. His prey was alive things. One could imagine how dangerous he was from the plants he grew in darkness. As a consequence, no one comes here, not even creatures, and the townspeople are also aware of the facts about this temple, that they were parasites and take power after killing alive people. This was the reason they didn't want anybody to go over there. The one who touches those plants would die surely. These were cannibal plants. Only 2 friends remain in the temple. Amy and Jack are friends. One choice they had was to die like their friends. They could escape saving their lives. After that, Jack fills Amy's body with blood and takes her down and pretends as if she has died. After putting herself down, he tries to engage villagers in his talks. After this, Amy could easily run away. He cries a lot and asks Amy to run away. Amy runs away from there and Jack was killed by the villagers. Amy approaches her car, starts it, and runs away, and comes very far. After being so far, it seemed as if she was saved. Suddenly, same roots start appearing on her body too, and that was clear that those dangerous plants and scary things have now come to this world. After this movie, The Ruins ends. Please give us your feed if you like this movie.